to the Paper Crafters Library. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how you can use your Spellbinders die templates as stencils, because Spellbinders is not just known for the ability of their dies to cut and emboss, but they can be used as stencils and also as masks. And there's 4 different ways I'm going to show you how you can use these as stencils and or masks. So I'm going to start here with a piece of white cardstock, and I've placed 2 of my circle dies face down on the cardstock, and I've taped them in place. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to run it through my grand caliber and die cut it, then emboss it. So I finished die cutting and embossing them. So now the first way that you can use it as a stencil is simply using some ink and a sponge. You can see here I'm just taking my sponge and kind of sponging in from the outside. As you can see, I've left my die in place. And then when you pop your piece out of the die, you can see you have this beautiful sponging, but you have that crisp, clear outer embossed edge, which still looks so beautiful. So now with the second one, I'm going to show you how you can use it. You can use an airbrush system with them. And here I have this Copic airbrush system. And if I just run that over, pop that out, you can see how gorgeous that looks. So here's 2 different looks. This is with the airbrush system, this is with its sponge. Now of course with the sponging you can build intensity of color, but generally you're not going to get as nice smooth a coat as you will with an airbrushed means. Now you can use your die negatives to act as a stencil themselves. So for example here I'm going to show you, this is the reverse piece of the 2 die cut circles. I'm just going to take my airbrush system and very quickly go over these, and when I remove it you can see I have these stenciled circles. Now you can use your die cut pieces themselves as masks, so I'm just going to put this here, and then actually just want to hold these in place because the air from my airbrush system is going to blow that everywhere. So when you use them as masks, you can see here you get the reverse. Now you can actually use your Spellbinders dies themselves as a mask as well, and I'll show you an example of, whoops, guess I'd better probably, well, maybe I'll put a little bit of this on my die to hold that in place. Let's try that again. Pull that off, and there you can see another way to use it. So there right away I've shown you 4 different ways you can use your nestabilities as either stencils or masks. Now while I demonstrated the use of the negatives, the shapes, and the dies using an airbrush system, you by no means have to have an airbrush system to use them that way. You can also use mists, and there's so many different mists on the market which are very affordable. So now here I wanted to show you an example of a project in which I use my Spellbinders die cut shapes as a mask. I die cut the butterfly from my Grand Shape Abilities Wonderful Wings. I die cut 4 of them, placed them on my 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper, and then I used one of my Studio Calico Mr. Huey's color mists and just lightly spritzed on top, and you can see that beautiful negative image of the butterfly with the color all around it. So there's so many different things you can do and so many different ways in which you can incorporate your Spellbinders die templates as stencils or masks, whether it's the die itself as I showed you, whether it's the die cut image, whether it's the negative of the image. There's so many different ways that you can incorporate them and use your Spellbinders die templates as masks and stencils, and hopefully this video has given you a few ideas.